Parrot and the Magic Chocolate Tree. Every day when Mum or Dad picked up Lee from school, they would walk home past the sweet shop. The shop sold all sorts of food, but Lee only had eyes for the sweet treats. He would always complain about his tummy grumbling and insist that only chocolate could make it better. His dad would tease him, suggesting a healthy stick of celery instead, but Lee found the very idea revolting. No matter how much his parents tried to convince him otherwise, he would persist until he was handed a Snickers or a Mars bar. One day, however, disaster struck. Mum announced that the family would be cutting down on sweets, crisps, and sugary sodas. She had been reading articles about the harmful effects of sugar on children's health and development, and she was determined to make a change. To make matters worse, even the dentist disapproved of sugar, warning that it would rot their teeth. From that moment on, their household was going to focus on healthy eating. That afternoon, Mum prepared a snack plate filled with cut-up apples, cucumber, carrot sticks, and hummus. While she and Dad found it delicious, Lee remained unconvinced. He longed for a bag of Maltesers or a chocolate bar, and no amount of hummus could change his mind. Later that evening, as Lee sat gloomily in his room, a familiar presence arrived. Parrot, a bright green parrot with sharp, intelligent eyes, hopped through the open window. Sensing Lee's distress, he asked what was wrong. Lee, with great sorrow, explained the terrible predicament. His mother had banned chocolate and crisps from his life. It was as if his world had crumbled before his eyes. Parrot, always full of wisdom, listened carefully. He reminded Lee that humans had survived long periods without chocolate, even during times of war. During World War II, chocolate had to be rationed, with families receiving only 4 ounces per month. The thought of such a small amount horrified Lee. Parrot then told him an ancient story about the Mayans, a great civilization in Mexico. According to legend, the Mayans believed that the chocolate tree was a divine gift, brought down from a magical mountain by the god Kukulkan. This tree produced cocoa beans that were more than just food. They carried wisdom, strength, and happiness. Hearing about this magical history fascinated Lee, but it didn't change his craving for chocolate. That night, he dreamt of the legendary Mayan chocolate tree, its branches heavy with rich, velvety chocolate that melted at the touch. The next morning, he eagerly told his mum about Parrot's tale, insisting that chocolate was not just a treat but a sacred food that could even help with school exams. His mother, unimpressed, simply smiled and urged him to get ready for school. Days passed, and Parrot was nowhere to be seen. Lee missed his feathery friend and wondered if he would return with another fascinating story. Then, one evening, a faint tap at the window filled him with excitement. Parrot had returned, and he carried something extraordinary, a mysterious, glowing cocoa bean in his beak. With great pride, Parrot announced that this was no ordinary bean. It was a magic cocoa bean, and if Lee planted it, it would grow into a tree with the finest chocolate he had ever tasted. Overjoyed, Lee wasted no time and planted the bean in the garden. The next morning, to his amazement, a tiny sprout had already appeared. As days passed, the sprout grew into a tree, and soon, its branches bore shiny pearls of chocolate that smelled divine. The first taste was enough to convince everyone. When Dad sampled a piece, he declared it the most delicious chocolate he had ever had. Mum and Lee's little sister, Elle, couldn't get enough either. The entire family marveled at the tree and its seemingly endless supply of rich, smooth chocolate. A week later, Parrot returned to check on Lee. The boy was beaming with happiness. Not only had the chocolate tree brought joy, but something unexpected had also happened. His dad had received a promotion at work, his mum had gained new customers for her business, Elle had won a race at school, and most incredibly, Lee had passed all his exams. He was certain it was all thanks to the magic chocolate. Parrot, amused by Lee's enthusiasm, reminded him of an important lesson. While a little magic and a little chocolate could do wonders, the true power had always been within them, their belief, their efforts, and their hope. From that day on, Lee and his family learned to enjoy their treats in moderation. Even the dentist was impressed with their improved eating habits. And whenever Lee credited Parrot for the magic chocolate, his mum would smile and say that one day, she would have to meet that little bird and thank him personally. True success comes from belief, hope, and effort.